In the first clip, as we see here, we are in the Prague location. It's a clip where we think we have a flank, but we end up getting bamboozled flanked by several warbands. We kind of just fall over and die. I managed to squeeze away like a little eel, and my whole warband kind of respawns. I open the map a couple of times. I check where nearby allies are. I try to call for them to get involved in the fight. Sort of managed to do that. I drag the victorious order over to Desto. Desto's coming in dry with morals, having to build combat. Order's coming in with potentially M1s, maybe M2s, if they manage to extend their combat over to this fight. Since I'm alone at this point, like my healers are dead or they're all respawned, so I'm deciding to assist the best I can by being inside, doing Winds of Insanity from the side here through the fence. I'm running a DPS setup build where whenever I'm critting, I'm applying incoming heal debuff tactic to the targets, to the enemies by 35%. Slightly stronger than the Chosen Aura, but it requires me critting. So when I'm standing in here doing Winds of Insanity and just trying to deal some damage, I'm not really trying to kill anything, I'm just trying to debuff. That's the whole mindset of the DPS Zealot. Your frontal puking, armor, and corporeal debuffing on demand, and then you're trying to heal debuff crit if you're running this version of the builds. In the next clip, as we see here, we kind of stumble into yet another fight. We're just three groups, and we're hesitating a bit here, so I'm deciding to make the peel play of doing a Winds of Insanity on the front. I barely escape with like 200 health before I need to double pot. We get stable, we have like one casualty, but the fight has now settled, and we can maneuver. And this flank here over on the left, I kind of wish I still had winds up, so I could really punt them all against the wall and pin them up against the wall here so we can kill them. Instead, Winds is coming off cooldown, and in the gap, I'm kind of walking up looking to try to get around the order so I can punt them all out of the gap and into Desto. But since I only end up getting in the middle of them, if I press the ability, I would then just have cut them in half escaping and half getting kills. So I decided not to do it. And that's kind of the mindset of DPS Zealot, in my opinion. In this next fight, I think this is just some back and forth. We've played Prague. This is your prime time. There's organized groups and warbands on both sides. It often ends up in this back and forth ping pong at the war camps. It's not the most engaging warband versus warband action, but I figured I would include some of it. Yeah, in these clips, it's just push-pull. Like, if you're too late on pulling out, you end up being run over. I think I included this clip because this is just a situation of I'm throwing out my wounds buff on an ally. I think it's my own tank that is getting pressured, like 10 seconds prior to this. And I'm just throwing out my wounds buff. So even though I am technically full glass cannon DPS offensive spec and my heal output is massively reduced, my wounds buff is still unaffected. So that's a little trick. You can either use it on yourself to be more tanky when you're going in and face trading, or you can just throw it on someone, an ally that actually needs 1500 heal instant, unmitigated by heal debuffs because it's a wounds buff. Outside of that, well, this is just back and forth. So here Desto has momentum. We are walking up. I'm in Open Nose's warband, so I'm kind of following that marker, listening to the calls. I don't have them included in this video because of copyrighted music I was listening to at the time. Here I kind of wanted to go into the North Alley myself, like that would have been my call, but as the good warband follower I am, the little foot soldier, I'm following the call, and even though I have an M4, I could have walked in and dropped it on that casual suspect stack in the North Alley. We have fully reloaded Maralta, and this is just a cleanup fight at this point. So following the calls on Discord, following the leader, and here the call is, if I remember correctly, to instantly mount up because we have seen them prior, like 10 seconds prior, that there was a big fight to the north. So we are heading over there in case we need to clean up, and we are still hot with morals. But as we see, Destro had already won the fight. In this next fight, it is us sieging an inner keep. Oil is available. No one is going postal. This is already too big misplace in my book, but sometimes you can brute force it with just organization overstacking on one side against not so organized on the other side, or just with sheer numbers. So Order has a lot of AO here. We're pushing in, and there's already two and casual suspects are isolated outside the outer keep. And I mean, this is just a stump inside, honestly. Like, I don't think they had oil before we had already cleared the bottom block. We can see it here in the clip that they're oiling, cutting us in half, but we're already wiping everything inside. I got a nasty wind block over on the supply turn-in banner as we wiggle in. The disadvantage is that you kind of just want to organize in your parties which tank is doing the first M4, so you don't overlap the M4s. And then you rush in with a Black Orc in his group with Wiesbaker, with speed up for the whole group, a little bit of damage immunity, damage mitigation, and CC immunity, and then you pretty much have like a full-on stampede going. The next clip here, like Order is coming in and contesting. Half of them we see are leaving over at the door, and I'm like not really waiting for the call. I'm not following instructions too well here. I see an opening and I go for it. That's kind of what I think Zealot should do. You should be 80% a follower and 20% a playmaker. Whenever you can see, you can make stuff happen with either Winds of Insanity or Wind Block. That's where Zealot is shining. So you need to have this flex role of you are a little bit of a playmaker, but you also need to just debuff for your realm and for your warband. It's a very low APM. Like, you have your frontal puke and you have your spammable AoE, and that's about it. You can do some utility with the rituals, with the wounds buff. You can even pre-hot or whatever. But yeah, that's it. And to finish this video off, we're just getting blinded by a bunch of high elves. So enjoy. Bye bye.